stream and see if it actually starts working. Your event is starting. We're good. So, welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 286. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Chad Wallace from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for all things firearms related. In this show, we'll be reviewing the Endomag, that's me, and discussing a Gridlock, Snapfeet, and an effing 507 again. So, and Rob is on vacation or something, and Zane is, said he's out of service or something like that, but he can still text me, so I don't know what's going on. And so it's Tony and I tonight. Tony, I know you were just on a podcast, so what did you do in firearms?
What I did in firearms this week is reach out to other firearms companies and try to get some stuff done for the diversity shoot. Took some really cool photos and lay the groundwork for my written reviews that are going to be on Firearms Insider. That's what I did.
Awesome. So you laid the groundwork for what? Written reviews?
Yeah, I actually did nothing but think about how I was going to write the review.
Oh, okay.
And pick the guns and have the pictures that I'm going to use in the article. But
I got you now. I'm like, well, we kind of have a format, but then there's the first part.
Yeah, you got to actually put it. You got to write it.
Hey, I did one this weekend, so I know exactly what you're talking about. And that is what I did in firearms, because I'm trying to think if I did anything else. I didn't. I pretty much took it easy, and it was hot here, and so I sat inside where it was cool and did a review. So I guess we'll get into the announcements since we're a bunch of boring fuds.
Okay.
Bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co. There might be patches for pre-order. I don't know. Go check them out because they are cool. Somewhere on my desk here, which is a mess, they have the patch of the month, but I can't find it. So you get the sticker of the month, which is the best catch of the day. And you can't see it because my camera's off because my internet sucks with this program we're using. Oh, looks like Tony's going to show it to you. And bam.
There you go.
There you go.
In your face. In your face.
Also, check out gunstreamer.com for firearms content, videos, etc., etc. If you're shopping Amazon, please use our affiliate link at firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And because Zane asked us to, if you are having problems or thinking about suicide, please call the 1-800-273-8255. He lost a friend this last week, and so we want you to stick around. Please call. If you know any of us, I'm sure we will take your calls too, and you can talk to us, even though I don't think we're, actually certified to do that, but sometimes it doesn't matter. So please call if you are thinking about that. And since Rob is not here, I guess I will read the views and opinions.
Okay. I was going to do it.
Oh.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast of those of the individual co-hosts and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network or their employers. This is not legal advice, nor should it be considered as such. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on our live shows when we've been drinking. Coming up next, Chad's going to talk about the Endomag. He's actually going to do a review on the Endomag.
There you go. And I got it here, and I guess I could try to turn my camera on, but it's probably not going to help you guys. So that you can see pictures and understand what I am talking about, please go to the firearmsinsider.tv and check out the review. So the Endomag is made by Mean Arms. They came into the pistol caliber market, PCCs, with this idea. They made some other stuff, but this is basically for the PCCs. What it is it's a 9mm insert for Magpul PMags. And like I said, it's called the Endomag. It eliminates having to use a special lower receiver or magazine adapter. Like I have a Stern Arms magazine adapter that adapts it to Glock mags, or you can get this special specific 9mm lowers. There's bunches of them out there. This converts your standard lower using a PMag. It's pretty cool. Uh, so we had discussed them, I don't know, a year or so ago when they first came out, and of course, I reached out to them and they did send me one for review. Uh, and like I said, it's not your standard magwell adapter. Goes inside a Gen 2 or Gen 3 PMag body. Basically, you take the PMag apart, set your old spring and follower somewhere where you might lose it or won't lose it. And depending on where you live, you cut the Endomag follower. It's the instructions tell you what to do, but it comes as a 10 round, and it has marks for 15, 20, and 30. Of course, I cut it at 30 because for now I live in a free state. For now, uh, that's about all you got to do. Then you slide the whole thing into your PMag body, install the floor plate. You're good to go. Mean Arms recommends that you do break in the Endomag. They have a whole paragraph in their instructions on how to do it. It's basically testing the mag body to make sure nothing it doesn't rub on the bolt. They have you cycle it by hand first, make sure nothing's catching, anything like that. Then you, with the Endomag installed, of course, you can drop the bolt uh, and stuff like that. I didn't have any issues. It cycled fairly decently. You drop the bolt, all that stuff. It does have some wear on it now. They say that the more you use it, the better it wears in. The Endomag has some great benefits, and a few that I would like more, maybe, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. That it's kind of how it's designed, and you can't really do much about it. The ability to load the rounds by pushing them down is a big plus. Loading a Glock mag without a loader or something like that sucks. These, you just push them in like you would a normal AR magazine. That is because it is a double feed, double column magazine, kind of like the Colt 9mm style magazines. The Endomag also features a built-in last round bolt hold open feature that is, nice if your bolt has that type of thing. The one weird thing is the ejector is built into the magazine. It functions great, but it takes some training to unload the firearm. You have to cycle the bolt back by hand to eject the live round. Then, while the bolt is back, you have to drop the magazine. And I see Tony doing weird stuff with his hands, so trying to get what it is. That's why I put it in there. Yes, you like cycle the bolt back with the magazine in. Typically, you would drop the mag and then cycle it. But if you do it this way, there's a good chance, and I know this from experience, that the 9mm round that's in your chamber, you pull it back and then you let the bolt go forward and it stays right there and loads back in the chamber. That's really a little confusing, especially like if you're shooting like a competition with it, because a lot of times just like, unload, show clear, all this stuff. So unless the range officer knows about it, they may think you're doing something weird. It's really only a training issue because it requires a learning curve. But another advantage with it is all your controls, magazine release, everything is the same as your standard AR-15 or AR-10. Something they didn't say that I did notice, the magazine spring that they use looks identical to the magazine pull out, the magazine spring out of the PMag that I pulled out. So I'm assuming that if you were to wear the spring out, you could replace it with a PMag magazine. And they didn't tell me I was wrong. It's always a plus. Let's see, where am I? Another advantage with the Endomag is it gives you the ability to try out a PCC. I mean, you still have to buy an upper complete, but you don't have to buy a lower receiver or magwell adapter. So there's that, which is a big plus because for $30 you can say, oh, okay, am I going to like this? Am I going to want to keep this? Do I want a dedicated lower, or do I just want to run the Endomags? There's nothing wrong with that either. I ran the Endomag a lot. It ran like a champ. I don't even remember having any failures. If I did, it was a minor one, and that's why I don't remember it. The PMag body having a Gen 2 or Gen 3 is kind of nice because they have the little dot matrix on the bottom. And if you look at the pictures in the review, I marked, it's actually a colored magazine. Don't ask about that. But I marked it with 9mm, so it's easily identifiable as which magazine it is. You don't want to get them confused if you were to just grab one. As far as training with the Endomag, I give it a thumbs up. 9mm cheaper than 5.56. In my experience, it has about the same felt recoil, so you can get decent training in for cheaper, especially if it's not long range. All the same, magazine pouches, etc., work with the Endomag because it's in a PMag body. Another great feature. Mean Arms has a good idea with the Endomag. It has decent features to aid in training. Goes into the magazine body you probably already have. Works fantastic. You just have to get over the ejecting around before dropping the magazine. If you think the Endomag's good for you, go give one a try. I mean, like I said, they're inexpensive enough to see if it's something you'd like. So now I'll get in the Firearms Insider Review 8 key points. Claim to fame. Well, you kind of already know. It's 9mm magazine kit for converting standard AR-15s to 9mm without a magwell insert or lower. Target market. Those wanting a 9mm carbine without the added cost of an adapter. Features and benefits. Converts the Magpul 30 round 5.56 45 PMags to 9mm. Functions as a standard AR mag. There's no magwell needed. Uses a standard AR-15 receiver. It comes fully assembled. The unit it does, but you still have to slide it in the magazine. Same controls, standard mag pouches, last round bolt hole open. It does have a lifetime warranty, so if you wear it out, break it, whatever, just let them know. Send it in. They'll send you a new one. It is compatible with the Glock and Colt style bolt carrier groups. I guess there is a difference. A lot of them nowadays will do both. And you can get it in 10, 15, 20, or 30 rounds, depending on how you cut the little thing off. There's a review on the firearm blog in there. Rainier Arms, there's a guy said it worked for him. Price point, MSRP is $29.99. I found it for $29.95 at AIM Surplus, 5 cents, But if you're ordering a bunch of other stuff, hey, if you need it now, just go to Mean Arms. It's probably the easiest way. Our ratings, pros, it uses Glock or Colt bolt carrier groups in 9mm. No lower modifications or special lowers required. It does have the last round bolt hold open. It does use the same spring. Fits same accessories as the standard AR mags. And the same standard controls. The cons, it's only available in 9mm as of right now. A magazine body is required, and the ejector in the magazine I put down as a con, even though there's really no other way they could do this. So it's a con to me, but it's not really like they had anywhere else to put it. So I gave it a score of 7, which is good. And I don't know if Tony has any questions on it.
Yeah, the only thing tripping me up is that that do you have to lock it open and then you can lock the bolt back and then drop the mag?
Yes, you don't have to lock it back,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't let the bolt slide forward or else it'll load another round. Like say your magazine's half full and you want to stop shooting. So you have to slide the bolt back, eject the round, and then drop the magazine while the bolt is back.
Yeah, that'll be weird.
Yes, it's weird. That's really the only reason. There is, I think they said a CMMG upper. They do make one that has an ejector built into the upper, and so they make a modified one of these. It's the same price for that particular upper, and I would think that would be maybe the way to go if the training bothers you with dropping the mag, that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's just something you have to get used to. If that's the way the product works, that's the way the product works.
Exactly.
But it's like, okay, that's something that will take me out of that zone of it's a training aid for my AR because the weird way you got to drop that mag, but it's not really a big deal at all. It's just something else you got to pick up on.
Right. And exactly. And that's, that, hey, besides that, the thing works great. It gives you options that other ones don't, you know. So, like I said, for $30, it's not like it's going to break the bank if you want to try it.
Well, the thing I like about it, and it's not something I'm gonna experience in my state because we suck.
No,
It's
they make a dedicated 10 rounder.
Well, when talking about is yeah, it'll work for me here because of the dedicated 10 rounder thing. But like one of the things that if you're running like Glock mags, you have to get longer magazine pouches for like the 31 round Glock mags. With this particular thing, you don't have to do any of that. You can still use your regular AR-15 mag pouches and still have 30 round capacity. Again, in a free state. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, it has pluses, minuses. So that is that. Let's see here. What do we want to do next? Oh, looks like product spotlight and discussion. So we are done with the review. Now we just got to talk about stuff that Tony may or may not like. First up, Strike Industries Gridlock handguards. MSRP is $199.95 and up, which is a lot for a handguard. But if you really want one that you can easily take on and off, this is for you. That I only put the black ones in here, but they make ones with color accents, stuff like that. Basically, it is a quick detach handguard, but it also has differences in the front, rear, bottom, and top. It has pieces you can change out color, or if you want a rail, or you can take the front one out if you want a longer rail on a fixed front sight base. That is also one of the options you can have. The height of the rail, they give it to you in millimeters. I don't know why. It's 61 millimeters tall, 46 wide. You can get it in 8.5, 10.5, 13, or 15-inch lengths. Internal diameter is 1.6 inches. So if you do want to, put it on over a suppressor or something, it'll do that. They are not the lightest in the world. They weigh 13.76 ounces to 19.33 ounces, depending on if you get the 8.5 or up to the 17. The barrel nut goes on, however, but normal barrel nut. but then it has a little quick detach thing on the bottom that you kind of pull forward and then pivot out. And then when you put it back on, it pivots up and locks in. I did see these at TriggerCon, which helps because I was able to actually put my hands on them and see how they are. Besides being heavy and being able to like put a longer rail with the front sight, they did tell me that there is, if you have an adjustable gas block, having the rail being able to be easily removed is kind of nice, because a lot of times you're fishing through to try to get the little adjustment. Well, this way you can just take the rail off super easy, adjust it, put it back on. They showed it with their little grid, their little click adjustable one. But no matter whose you have, that is a plus to being able to remove this. It was pretty sturdy. I didn't see any, you know, once it was on there, it was tight. So I don't think you'd have to worry about, that part of it. The Like I said, they are a little expensive, which if you want it, let's see, the little color accents you can get in like red, gold, or it's like a greenish, kind of like an OD, but they call it like FDE. So it's kind of in between there because it's kind of it's anodized, so it's not quite green, not quite brown. It's a neat concept. It is an M lock on the sides if you need to mount stuff. It's neat. For me, it's a little too weighty and a little too expensive. That's my take on it. Tony?
So I'm looking at this, right? And I'm like, okay. You has a built-in flip-up front sight.
Oh yeah,
The front sight is built into the Picatinny rail on the front, and then they show it with a flashlight on top of it. So that means if I have to use my front sight because my optic went down, I also have to take off my flashlight to flip it up instead of having just flip up front sights. Or I have to put my flashlight further back behind the flip up front sight so they're available for emergencies. But now my flashlight is like 2 to 3 inch. I have no idea. They have the length in millimeters. It's 66 millimeters further back than it needs to be. Freaking silliness. This is what you get from an airsoft company. So that's what I see as that. As far as concerned about taking the hand rail off and on, again, unless you have an adjustable gas block. So why am I doing this again? You know what I'm saying? Like what when does this become a thing for me if I don't have an adjustable gas block? And truthfully, from what I've seen, a lot of people just work through the M-lock holes or the other holes to adjust their gas block. They don't have to dig around in it because it's not lost. You know where it is. You put the dang thing on. So I mean, that's great. They come up with new stuff. But it's heavy. It's it's heavy than it needs to be, more expensive than it needs to be. And it solves a problem that most people don't have because they have regular gas blocks. They don't have adjustable gas blocks. But, this is another item from Strike, and it looks unique. And I'm sure it looks cool. And it'll look great for the Instagram photos of your gun. Outside of that, hey, I got nothing. I see nothing here that I want because, again, it costs too much. And I don't need it.
And that's the thing is I don't need it because, all the reasons stated. So, of course, Zane's not here, so he probably needs one because he needs everything that helps him shoot reduced recoil loads.
He needs all that weight to help reduce the recoil of a 5.56.
Hey, you could put it on a 9mm and use the Endomag.
True. And you could also attach all the rest of the crap that freaking Strike Industry makes to it and make it even heavier.
Yeah, you could do that too. And I will say some of Strike Industry stuff is decent.
Oh, I'm just being a
I
dork
know.
right now and just hating
And
for no reason.
it's just I'm with Tony. I don't really like this product. I guess if it's your thing, go ahead. If not, hey, I'm sure there's tons other on the market.
Well, I think they make a whole bunch of other hand,
They
hand
used to make,
guards.
yeah, regular hand guards. They make regular hand guards. So
Yeah.
uh,
So, I mean, there's that. This is just one of the things in the corpse. It's specific for, I'm assuming, just if you take your hand guards off and on, because their other stuff is less money. It's like $144 starting with some of their rails, for an
right,
AR.
it's like normal price for what you get. I mean, most of the other rails are $150.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, you're basically paying for the ability to
Modularity.
take it. Yeah, the modularity. That's what I thought M-Lock was for, but that's just me. Now we will get into the next product, which I know Tony is a little more happy about. It is the FN 507 mid-sized MRD miniature red dot. MSRP is $799, and as we're always going to say, if you're not married to a platform, the FNs are nice firearms. uh, it's 9mm, of course. It's their striker fired pistol, 15 round mag capacity, 4-inch barrel, overall length 7.4 inches, heights 5.2. It's 1.35 inches wide. The thing I love about FN is trigger pull 5.5 to 7.5 pounds. So you get what you get, and that's it. Uh, they do publish their sight radius though, which is some companies don't. It is 5.79 inches. It does come, because it is for a red dot sight, it does come with suppressor height sights. It's got the FN's low mount optic system adapter. Gives you 10 different optics you can mount on it. So basically whatever you want. The sights are just black. They are nothing special, but it's basically their mid-sized pistol with their optics cut. Does have a changeable back straps. Let's see, what does it come with? It comes with two 15-round magazines, two back straps. It is compatible with the FN 17 and 24 round magazines, as you would guess. Basically, I'm glad to see, and Zane would say so too, that companies are coming out with pistols. Even if they already have the pistols, they're coming out with them with the ability to have red dot sights. One nice thing about the FN, and it's kind of like the Glock's MOS also, they use their system, but it's not like you're married to one certain optic. You can buy the gun, then say, okay, I have this red dot, I want to put it on. And you probably can. I'm sure it'll fit all the most common, since it said it fit 10. So, that's pretty much about everything out there, I think. FN makes good stuff. I've held the FN pistols. They're comfortable. Uh, I'm not keen on the little pivoting triggers, but they're okay. That's just my personal preference.
So
Tony?
I went to FN Range Day in Little Egg Harbor at Shooters, and hung out with the range guy. Dave over at FN. He was the rep that came down. So we went to the range, and I just shot his FN 509, his FN 509 Tactical. So I'll just keep it to those. One, the FN 509 passed the military test, so you know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with something that's a high round count. The only difference between these is, I think, barrel length by half an inch or something,
Yeah.
and grip length. So pretty much it's the same. It's got the same.
19.
Yeah, so it's Glock 19 size with a sight, and I don't think the trigger's bad at all. But what Dave did was pull out that trigger and put in a Apex. And now it's a whole different world. I mean, you can tell the difference between the two. So, I mean, truthfully, if you're gonna be the type of person that gets that optic on here, especially FM 509, go ahead and replace the trigger too, and it just takes it up to that next friggin' level. I'm telling you, um, there might be a 509 in my future. Actually, Dave and I were talking about it. But there's some other stuff going on with me now, and I hope to have even cooler stuff come out. But FN 509, I think, is one of those things that are the place where CZ was a couple of years ago. People were sleeping on the product, not understanding how good of a gun it is that's out there, because they're still caught up in this Smith & Wesson Glock world. And I think you're doing yourself a disservice. So if you find an FN 509, it's a solid gun, especially these type, because it's that Glock 19 size. It's already been out there. I haven't heard anything bad about FN 509s at all from anyone. I don't know if you have or not. Have you?
I have not. The thing is you really don't hear much about them. They're uh, they're older ones, not the newer series. Were some people complained they were kind of bulky, but these having used them, I don't think they are. They're older ones, but like you said, they're a good pistol. I don't think you could really go wrong. If I mean, MSRP is a little high, but that
It's
does
not going to be.
that's not street value. I mean,
Yeah.
street value is probably $600 or something. You know,
Yeah, you can find them, especially if you go some of the places I do online, like gun deals, and what they do is just have deals from all over the internet. So you can trip upon, really good prices from something gunshop.com, and all of a sudden you got a killer price on something like this. I mean, but the cool thing about the FM 509 midsize, the FN 509 tactical, is like they already have that legacy. All the parts work. It's the same thing, just different barrel length and grip size. It's not like, SIG coming out with the 365 or something else that it's a totally different design. And you got to wonder if it works or not. So, I mean, now understand, I've spent hours talking to FN engineers at the Great American Outdoor Show, because nothing's happening at that dang show on a Wednesday. So I don't know if it's drink the Kool-Aid or at least talk to guys that built the guns, and they worked for other companies prior to FN, so they can let you know what I mean, the difference in those two companies. Again, talking person to person, not with their boss around, just two gun dudes talking about firearms. And truly, I mean, again, I love my CZs. My newest gun, my newest firearms purchase is a CZP-07. But FN is definitely on my radar because of the quality pistol it is.
right. And that's the thing is, I noticed I forgot to mention they are fully ambidextrous controls, slide release or slide lock, whatever you want to call it, and the magazine release, which is true. They are both. It's not a switchable one. It is ambi. So that's a plus if you're odd-handed.
Or if you're running those drills with the other hand. And understand, you still can use FN 509 mag, so you can use a 17 rounders, you can use a 24 rounder.
Exactly. I mean, what more could you ask? I don't know if there's an FN in my future for a long time, but now I'm still looking. I like the CZ-P07, P09s because the hammer fired gun I actually like. I don't get me wrong, I still like striker fired guns. It's just if I'm gonna buy one, I'm probably gonna get a CZ. In fact, I've actually been looking at that, but they don't have anything new out right now. FN does.
Well, see, that's the thing. And it's not even a CZ versus FN thing. I want to check it out. I want to be able to understand when I buy guns at this point, it's also for the diversity shoot. It's not just Tony's buying what Tony wants or getting what I want. It's also to be able to present other firearms to people when they come to a diversity shoot.
And so it would give you more guns. You would introduce more people to their guns. So FN, if you're listening, hit Tony up and send him all the guns that he can.
Yeah, and I really want that FN. What is it? FNS the 2000, the one that looks like a porpoise.
Yeah.
I really want one of those, and the reason being, hey, some people are just AR-15 out, and if you can bring something totally different, they'll jump on it. I think. Anyway, that's neither going here nor there, but I think that suffers from the same thing FN handguns do. It is not the status quo. It's not what people are used to seeing. So I'm thinking this is a value gun. Excuse me, not a value gun, a good gun. It's not at a value price at all. It's pretty much what everything else goes for. And but it's just from FN. And as far as aftermarket support, there's enough of it there to justify picking up one of these guns now.
Yeah, like you said, the Apex, they don't just make triggers for it. They have a bunch of other stuff too. So,
yep.
Yeah, like you said, there is FN. People are starting to make more stuff for it. So it's not like you're going to buy the gun and if you want to do something to it, you can't. Now we're going to get into something that Tony doesn't know about because he only knows how to use iron sights and a sling.
Me and Reed.
That's right.
From the AR-15 podcast.
Aren't you guys like the same age, like ancient?
Yep.
Yep, I know. So what we have is the KNS Snapfoot. MSRP is $75 to $90 depending on which version you get. This is a new product by KNS Precision, the guys that make all the anti-rotate pins for ARs, etc. They had these at TriggerCon, and I thought they were pretty cool. What they do is it's like a quick change adapter for your bipod that goes on the legs, and basically it comes with 3 different types of feet, just a flat little one, the rubber ones, and then the spiked feet with little things around them. I don't know if they call them something different, but it allows you to easily take them on and off, kind of, if you know anything about like quick change couplers for air hoses, or it's similar to that. You kind of pull back and then the little ball piece pops out and then you can pop in the new one. They make it for Harris style Magpul and Atlas bipods. So, a lot of the common ones. There's also, they said they're working on something else. They weren't specific about it, but another bipod. If you do a lot of bench shooting, you might be like, okay, I want the rubber feet on. But then if you're out hunting something, maybe you want the spiked feet or the flat feet if you're on, just laying prone somewhere. There's a lot of good uses for them. If you have more than one bipod, the feet fit on and have these on all your bipods. It doesn't matter which bipod you have. You can just snap the little feet in. The feet do pivot. They're on a little ball where it snaps in. Makes it nice so that they sit flat wherever you're setting them. They have O-rings in them to keep dirt and junk out. Basically, that is what they are. I liked it. I thought it was a really good idea, especially if you got like an Atlas bipod. Spending $90 for a quick change foot kit is not a big deal. This costs about almost as much as a Harris bipod does. They're a nice little thing to have, really. I thought it was a cool idea. I don't know about Tony, but we'll find out.
They come in pretty colors.
Like red and black?
See? Pretty. Man, look, I got nothing to say. I don't use a freaking bipod. That stuff is way out of my price range. I use a bag or a foam action sports block.
You can get for like, I don't know what they cost, but they're cheap.
Well, mine cost me being friends with Sean Fisher, so I mean, you'd better off pay retail. And the funny thing is, he'll never hear this because he doesn't listen to the show because he thinks he's too good for us.
Well, it's because we fired him, right?
Well, listen, you had to let him go. He really didn't give you a choice.
Yeah, okay.
No, I don't. Listen, if it's, you said it costs almost as much as a bipod.
But the thing is like, what's a Magpul bipod cost? Aren't they like $119 or something?
Mm-hmm.
And this is like $75 to $90.
Whoa.
Uh,
Well, it is what it is. I mean, it's not like if you bought another Magpul bipod, it would have different feet on it, right? It's still going to have the ones that it came on. So pretty much, if you're going to be shooting at different things, I'm assuming it's for people like shoot that precision rifle courses or something like that too.
But a lot of times they're carrying a bag. But I see it more for like hunters that, like if you're coyote hunting, maybe you can take it out depending on terrain.
I mean, I really and truly have absolutely nothing to add to this discussion.
I looked up some of the Magpul bipods. They're $110. So that
I remember when we first talked about them when they were on a show. That was about the price range.
Yeah. So there is that. Hey, if it's something I thought it was cool, I would use it if I had a set. I don't know if I'm probably going to go buy one, but if I ever decide I need them, I know where they are.
I find it funny though that on KNS's Precision's website, because it's a Tony thing. It's the Snapfoot quick change modular bipod kit is under machine gun accessories.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
I'm like, what?
Hey, if you got a gun, yeah.
In case you put a bipod on if you put a Magpul bipod on your belt fed.
No, you're probably if you have one, you're going to have an Atlas bipod on the on your FN 240 or whatever it is.
I just found it funny that it's under machine gun parts. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that is kind of funny, but whatever. And we know KNS makes decent stuff, so it's a machined quick adapter. I don't think the price is terrible. That's just me. Next up, we are we don't have Zane, so we're cooking right along. We have listener feedback, and it's nothing bad. So, I know this is from HD Mike 26. What it says comical but very informative. 5 stars. Have tried listening to several podcasts and cannot listen to most more than halfway through due to political rants and obviously paid for statements. This one is outstanding with sometimes unified, but more often than not, individualized perspective on each product's merits. I am also a firearms instructor, pistol rifle and CQB in Florida, so another Florida man, and I recommend your podcast to all my classes. Keep up the great work. And we thank you very much for that, and we really thank you for recommending the podcast to all of your classes. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that, HD Mike 26, and the reason I do is because sometimes we pounce on dudes that give us negative reviews and then spend like half an hour ranting about that, and we don't pay enough attention to guys that go, "Hey, we like what you do." So I really appreciate it, and it's funny because I'm willing to totally sell out and do paid statements. No one will ever meet my price.
Nobody will meet your price.
I'm just letting you know, I'm totally willing to sell out. But of course, the way I do it is also tell you, hey, these people paid me to tell you this. So I guess it really doesn't, it really wouldn't work like they want me to. Yeah, dude, I noticed that with some podcasts too. It's like, yo, dude, you're doing a commercial.
I mean, I will say, like, the We Like Shooting show, when they do commercials, they're pretty quick, and it's more like they're a sponsor of that segment. But yeah. I've listened to podcasts where it's like, okay, this is a little much.
I'm like, yo, dude, reel it in. I'm kind of feeling that you might be getting a check from these people.
Man, when are we going to start getting checks from people?
Hey, listen, again, you can give to my GoFundMe. I also have a PayPal that you can donate to. I take wampum. You can pay me in food products, Cheesecake Factory, gift certificates. I'm just saying.
Bitcoin?
Bitcoin. wampum, maize, beaver pelt, stuff from when Chad was a kid.
Dirt.
Gonna pay you in dirt. All right. So I guess we're to my part of the show again.
Yeah, I could say we're to your part of the show because didn't you just take it over? Oh, I was
Yep.
going to say we really don't want too many advertisers because it's hard for us. We don't we need a place that sells everything because we still want to be unbiased on our reviews. It's kind of one of
So
those things.
yeah, Brownells will happily take your money.
Yeah,
Midwest,
Midway,
Midwest USA, or mid what? Midway USA.
AIM surplus. If they want to.
Oh, and Sportsman's Guide. I'll take your moldy surplus, stinky stuff too.
Palmetto Armory, State Armory, we'll take their stuff, because they just sell their stuff. So, we'll take, don't get us wrong. We'll take money from people.
We'll sell out. We just want to, make sure it's a broad base to sell out to so we can keep getting stuff. Remember, the opinions by those here. Let me see. Second is for everyone, diversity shoot. Hey, my website is back up and it's running, so you guys can go there. You can check out the new collaboration that I have going with Yankee Marshall. $20 and above patrons on a Patreon. Yankee Marshall is one of you guys are going to receive a CZP10. So that's going to be awesome next month. So if you donate, if you're $20 and above patron in the month of August, or you already were one of you going to end up getting a CZP10 next month when everything clears up over on Patreon. Once we get paid from that, we'll know who actually participated, who actually donated money. Somebody's going to get one. So we're going to contact you, and you got to give us your FFL. So again, you can donate to the Second is for Everyone podcast on Patreon. That's one way you can help us out. And what that does is help pay for not only our podcast, but the Second is for Everyone diversity shoots, which the next one's happening August 22nd at Gun for Hire Range in Woodland Park. If you don't know what the Second is for Everyone diversity shoot is, I'll give you a 30-second rundown. We introduce new shooters and gun owners to each other and to Second Amendment groups at Gun for Hire Range in Woodland Park, New Jersey. We have pizza, we have prizes, we have fun, and then you go shoot guns. That's what it's all about. It's about fellowship. It's about answering questions. It's about inclusiveness to all people, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, or background. What we're trying to do is introduce people to the gun culture and kill the negative media-driven stereotypes of what a gun owner really is. That's what happens at diversity shoots, and you can help fund it by donating to our GoFundMe by typing in the Second is for Everyone over at GoFundMe. You can donate to our PayPal at Simon Says Training. That's at Yahoo. I think that's how you can find me over there. You can also check out my post and our post on the Second is for Everyone on Facebook. You can look at our diversityshoot.com website. You can also purchase our t-shirts at 1022clothing.us. And the reason I made it like that is because we made a joke one day. I said, hey, I'm like 5'11", only twice as big. 1022clothing.us. You can buy your shirts. Right now I have my Gun Control Equal Racism rally shirt on. It's $10. And I don't even get paid for this. We made it $10 so you guys can afford to buy a few for the Second Amendment rallies that I'm sure are going to be coming up the rest of this summer. If you want to purchase something for us to give away or raffle off at our diversity shoots, you can purchase it at blackbagresources.com. Type in 2A4E, and the item will be dropped off by Sean himself. And if you want, go ahead and tell everybody your name, and we'll thank you publicly at our event for donating that item. You can also check us out on Instagram at Simon Says Train. I also have a Twitter account, Tony Simon. I think you can find me there. I just started posting stuff up on the Twitter account separately. All right. Thank you very much, Chad, for having me on. Let me go ahead and get my thing out. And I really appreciate all of you guys for listening, and many of you for donating to what we do. Do not send me A2 grips, Catholic fundamentalists.
Oh. That was the longest 30 seconds in the history of 30 seconds.
No, I gave 30-second thing on what the diversity shoot is. I didn't give 30 seconds.
I timed it.
Understand the sun's about down where you at, and I know you only know how to use sundial, so shut your face.
Well, that's true. There's a little error in the shadows if the sun's behind a cloud. So there will be no show next week. So that's because it's my anniversary. I decided we're just not doing one. Send questions, comments, or feedback to gungearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us an iTunes review like our friend HD Mike 26. 5 stars is great, but if you want to leave us a 1 star, we'll still read it and figure out what it is. Check out all the other great shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and anything else we decide to post up there. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Firearms Insider. Thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And we are out.
What, I'm supposed to say something now? I just say let the show in. What? I don't have to?
No.
Bye, guys. No drunken show.